Hi everyone, I'm Jenna, and this video is the first out of two videos that kind of, I guess, sum up how I did at the end of the year. So, in this video, if you couldn't already tell from the title, is me just telling you about all the books that I read in the year. Starting with the very first book that I read, and then going chronological order all the way to the last book that I read. Now, on my previous years, I added two things that I'm going to be incorporating in this video. The first is I'm going to be telling you my star rating for each of the books that I read. And then at the end, I'm going to be going to Goodreads and telling you all the stats that they give you for how you did reading. Like the shortest book you read, the longest book you read, how many pages you read, the most popular book you read, and all that sort of stuff, which I think will be fun to kind of look back on and fun for you to hear. Now, before I get into sharing the other books that I read, I want to apologize for you guys for not making a lot of videos in the last couple of months. And I do not know the reason for this because I've been really into reading and all that, so I don't know why I haven't filmed anything, because I really haven't been totally busy or anything, but I just haven't, and I kind of feel bad about that. But I do have a couple ideas in my head that have come at the beginning of this year, and I really want to share them with you guys, so hopefully that will motivate me to film the videos and get them up for you guys. So yeah, there's that. And then also I want to talk about my new glasses that I'm wearing today. As you may recall, I've worn black rectangular glasses, and now I'm wearing these bigger sort of ovalish glasses that are clear, and they have this gray with a hint of like purple in it, which I'm really loving. So yeah, now that's out of the way, let's get into discussing all the books that I read in 2019. The Dam Keeper by Robert and Dice. I'm not going to say their last names because I know I'll butcher them. And this book gave a 5 out of 5 stars. A Darker Shade of Magic, the first book in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V. Schwab. And this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Saga Volume 8, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Saga Volume 9, and this I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. In an Absent Dream, which is the 5th book in the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Finding Momo Across Europe, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. The Poet X, which is written in verse by Elizabeth Acevedo, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. The 6th Amulet middle grade graphic novel called Escape from Lucian, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read Water Runs Red, a book of poems by Jenna Claire, and I read this on my iPad through the Kindle app, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Every Word You Cannot Say by Ian S. Thomas, and this I gave 3 out of 5 stars. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novak, and this is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. You're Out of Sight, Charlie Brown, and this I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. Sunday's Fun Day, Charlie Brown, and this I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. Illuminae Book 1 in the Illuminae Files by Amy Coffin and Jay Kristoff, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, and this book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, and this book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Water Runs Red, a book of poems by Jenna Claire, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lapincat, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Again But Better by Christine Riccio, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. First Meetings in the Enderverse by Orson Scott Card, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Book 7 in the Amulet middle grade graphic novel series called Firelight, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. The 8th book in the Amulet middle grade graphic novel series called Supernova, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. How to Be Luminous by Harriet Rutter Hapgood, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Dig by A.S. King, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Across the Universe, Book 1 in Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Me Being Me is Exactly as Insane as You Being You, which is a novel written in lists by Todd Hazak Lowy, and this book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. Sadie by Courtney Summers, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. The Secret Hour, which is the first book in the Midnighters trilogy by Scott Westerfeld. This book is a reread, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. Beloved, Stories of Forgiveness by Rebecca St. James, and this book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. A Million Suns is the second book in Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart, and this book is written in reverse, and this book I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. On the Other Side by Carrie Hope Fletcher, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Touching Darkness, Book 2 in the Midnighters trilogy by Scott Westerfeld, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I reread Carry On by Rainbow Rowell in preparation for the sequel, and I gave this, yet again, 5 out of 5 stars. A Monster Calls, a novel by Patrick Ness, inspired by an idea from Sylvian Dowd and illustrated by Jim Kay. And this book is a reread, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read the sequel to Carry On called Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell, and this book I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend by Matthew Dix, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I reread The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson, and this book I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Throne of Glass, Book 1 in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, and I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So, those were all the 42 books that I read in 2019. Now on to the stats that Goodreads provides. So, as I'm looking at my phone here, I see that I've read 12,967 pages, which kind of just blows my mind. And the shortest book I read was Sunday's Fun Day Charlie Brown, coming in at 80 pages. And the longest book I read is Me Being Me is Exactly as Insane as You Being You by Todd Hazak Lowy. And this was a book that was written in lists, and it comes in at 656 pages. For the most popular book I read was Throne of Glass. which I kind of see that one's no surprise. And the least popular book is You're Out of Sight, Charlie Brown. And the highest rated book on Goodreads would be Finding Momo Across Europe. And there you have it. Those are the books and the stats on the books I read for 2019. And join me for my next video where I share through my favorite books of 2019. Hope to see you then. Bye!